Have you ever walked into a room and found your cat sitting innocently beside something they just destroyed? A broken plant, a scratched couch, a glass knocked onto the floor, and somehow they always seem completely unbothered, almost as if nothing happened. Which leads many cat owners to ask the same question: why does my cat keep destroying things? Are they bored? Are they angry? Are they trying to punish me for something? The answer may completely change the way you see your cat, because what looks like bad behavior is usually something very different. In fact, most of the time, your cat isn't being naughty at all. They're simply being a cat. And once you understand what's really happening inside their mind, a lot of those frustrating behaviors suddenly start making sense. The first thing to understand is that cats don't think about rules the way humans do. This is one of the biggest misunderstandings between cats and people. When a child draws on a wall, they can eventually learn that it's wrong. They understand expectations. They understand consequences. Cats don't see the world that way. They don't sit there plotting ways to upset you. They aren't looking at your expensive furniture and thinking, "This will really annoy my human." Their brains simply don't work like that. But here's the interesting part. Even though your cat isn't trying to be destructive, they may still repeat the same behavior over and over again. And the reason is surprisingly simple. If something feels natural, useful, rewarding, or necessary, they'll keep doing it, even if you hate it. Take scratching, for example. Few things frustrate cat owners more than finding fresh claw marks on furniture. You buy a scratching post, you place it nearby, and somehow your cat still chooses the couch. Why? Because scratching isn't just about sharpening claws. That's only part of the story. Cats scratch for several reasons at the same time. They're stretching muscles, they're maintaining claw health, they're releasing energy, and perhaps, most importantly, they're marking territory. What most people don't realize is that cats have scent glands in their paws. When they scratch a surface, they're not only leaving visible marks, they're also leaving scent signals. In your cat's mind, that couch may be serving a purpose that has nothing to do with destroying furniture. It may simply feel like the perfect place to say, "This belongs to me." And this is where it gets weird. Sometimes the things your cat scratches the most are actually the things they value the most. The couch where the family gathers, the chair you use every day, the doorway everyone walks through, these locations are full of activity and familiar scents. To a cat, they're important parts of the territory, and that makes them attractive targets for scratching. But scratching is only one piece of the puzzle. What about knocking things over? Almost every cat owner has experienced it. You place something carefully on a table, everything looks fine, then your cat walks over, looks at it, touches it with a paw, and pushes it directly onto the floor. Why? The internet often jokes that cats simply enjoy causing chaos. But here's the truth. The explanation is actually much more fascinating. Cats are naturally curious hunters. They learn about the world through observation and interaction. When your cat taps an object, they're gathering information. How does it move? Does it react? Can it be chased? Does it make a sound? To your cat, that decorative item may not look like decoration at all. It might look like an interesting object worth investigating. And if it falls, well, now something exciting has happened. What most people don't realize is that movement instantly captures a cat's attention. Remember, these are animals that evolved to detect tiny movements from potential prey. Even a slight wobble can trigger curiosity. And once curiosity takes over, your favorite vase may not stand a chance. But here's something even stranger. Sometimes your cat destroys things because they're bored, not because they're lazy, not because they're spoiled, but because their brain is designed for challenges. Think about what hunting requires: searching, tracking, waiting, pouncing, problem-solving, decision-making. Wild cats spend a significant amount of time engaging with their environment. Indoor cats often have much less opportunity to do that. Food appears automatically. The environment stays mostly the same. The excitement level drops. And when intelligent animals become understimulated, they often create their own entertainment. Unfortunately, that entertainment may involve your belongings: a dangling curtain, a roll of toilet paper, a stack of papers on your desk. Suddenly, these ordinary objects become games, and once a cat discovers something fun, they'll often return to it again and again. But here's the interesting part. Sometimes destruction has nothing to do with boredom at all. Sometimes it's about stress. Many people assume stressed cats always hide. That's not necessarily true. Stress can show up in different ways: changes in routine, moving house, new pets, visitors, construction noises, even rearranging furniture can affect some cats, because cats often prefer predictability. When their environment changes, some respond by becoming more active, more restless, more destructive. You may see increased scratching, more climbing, more knocking things over, or unusual behaviors that seem to come out of nowhere. And this creates a problem, because from the human perspective, the behavior looks random, but from the cat's perspective, something in their world may feel different, and they're responding the only way they know how. Now here's a question. Have you ever noticed that your cat sometimes destroys things specifically when you're nearby? Maybe they scratch furniture while you're watching. Maybe they knock something over when you're working. Maybe they start causing trouble the moment you're busy. Many people assume this is revenge. It's not. But attention can absolutely play a role. What most people don't realize is that cats learn from outcomes. If a behavior consistently gets a response, the behavior can become more likely to happen again. Imagine your cat jumps onto the counter. You immediately react. You speak. You move toward them. You engage. From your perspective, you're correcting the behavior. From your cat's perspective, something interesting just happened. This doesn't mean your cat planned it, but over time, patterns can form, and cats are surprisingly good at noticing patterns, which brings us to another behavior many owners find frustrating: chewing. Some cats chew plants, some chew cords, others chew cardboard, paper, fabric, or plastic. Why would they do that? The answer isn't always the same. For some cats, it's exploration. For others, it's texture. For others, it's play. And sometimes it may simply be an instinctive behavior that feels rewarding. Cats use their mouths to investigate the world, just as humans use their hands. And while that may be perfectly normal from the cat's perspective, it can create serious problems inside a home. But here's the fascinating thing. Many behaviors we label as destructive are actually normal behaviors happening in the wrong place. Scratching is normal. Climbing is normal. Hunting is normal. Exploring is normal. Chewing is normal. The conflict begins when natural feline instincts meet human possessions. Your cat doesn't understand the difference between a $2 cardboard box and a $2,000 sofa. They don't assign value the way we do. To them, both are simply objects within their environment, and that changes everything. Because once you stop viewing your cat as a tiny troublemaker, you start seeing what's really happening: instinct, curiosity, communication, energy, exploration. The same traits that sometimes create messes are also the traits that make cats so fascinating. The hunter hidden beneath the house pet, the explorer hidden beneath the nap lover, the curious mind hidden behind those quiet eyes. And maybe that's why cats continue to surprise us, even after years together. Just when you think you've figured them out, they do something completely unexpected, not because they're trying to make your life difficult, but because they're following instincts that have existed for thousands of years. The next time your cat scratches the couch, knocks over an object, or turns an ordinary afternoon into a small disaster, try looking beyond the behavior itself. Ask what need they're trying to satisfy. Ask what instinct might be involved. Ask what they're experiencing from their point of view, because understanding that perspective can completely change your relationship with your cat. And often, the behaviors that seem most frustrating become the behaviors that teach us the most about who they really are. If your cat has ever destroyed something valuable, let us know in the comments. What was the most shocking thing your cat ever managed to ruin? And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us for more fascinating insights into the secret psychology of cats. Thanks for watching. And if your cat is quietly sitting nearby right now, they may already be giving you a slow blink, the same calm trust that often exists behind all that chaos. Meow.